I know. Yeah. All right, so let's do a little business here. I know that one of the really important issues is a seat at the table. You will remember that I told you explicitly you would have a seat at the table through your student governance body on campus. And I not only told but requested in writing that the campus presidents who are having these shared administrative services discussions create that table. So I think I understand that that table has not materialized. That is to say, we want a conversation that you have access to through your representation in student government. In fact, the faculty and staff want the same thing. So what I'm hearing is that I may have to be even more explicit about the desire to have that table. I'm forming my own table at SUNY for shared services, and as I think you've heard, Kaitlyn will be at that table.
Beachner.
We have two Kaitlyns.
We have two Kaitlyns.
And Kaitlyn, whom I just spoke to, you must remember is a graduate of Potsdam, so she's no stranger to issues of the North Country. So Kaitlyn Beachner will be at the table, as will a representative from the University Faculty Senate and from the community colleges, even though they're not particularly directly engaged in these shared administrative services. And then your second issue, one president, one campus, we'll go through discussions of that local campus steering committee, the SUNY steering committee, the board of trustees, and the chancellor's executive committee. So there's a lot of process, but process is what you're asking. I mean, part of it is you got two issues. One, I want process, and I want to be my voice heard, and secondly, I have an opinion about the one president, one campus. So I get that. And I think what I'm saying to you explicitly is, I thought I made this clear that at Canton Potsdam we needed that table, and if it hasn't occurred yet, you have my word, it will. I mean, I'm trying to parse out the two issues you have. One is very substantive. You have an opinion about one president, one campus. I hear that. And I've got a process set up for sort of resolving or working toward the resolution of that issue. But first and foremost, I want to protect your voice. That's my role, which I've heard already this morning.
We also have another issue where the presidential search guidelines, you're eliminating, by doing the new changes, you eliminate the voice of the college council, and their role is to appoint a president for that university.
Well, they never had that role. We didn't eliminate that role. That is a board of trustees decision. It always has been, and unless the statute is changed, it always will be. But we are reviewing presidential search guidelines, another issue that is very much in play.
Right.
Not concrete, not anywhere near concrete. So I hear you. It is, you know, if I were to itemize, and David is my memory here, your third issue is the role of the college councils, their advisory role of the college council. So I appreciate that.
Yes.
Okay.
That's mainly where we stand. More so as having the students' voices heard and just keeping our college unique and individual when the shared presidency issue comes about. We would, of course, love to keep Dr. Kennedy. And if in the event we do have to have a new president, we want the college to be able to choose their own president under our guidelines and such. We understand that there's a new search way and your draft has come out, but we feel like not only should it be just Kate Beachner who speaks for the students, but also our students themselves, because each campus is individual, and each campus functions differently. Our campus functions a lot differently from Potsdam as far as the presidential-wise. Our students understand our president, we know our president, we've gained a lot from our president. So we kind of would like the entire student body's voices heard. Not to say that you have to come and speak to each individual student, but on a kind of more local spectrum of our school, per se's voices being heard.
Well, and I hope that the steering committee provides that vehicle for you, because you're right. In a democratic society, you can't take all those voices to the table personally and individually, but you count on, you know, representative democracy to take the issues that are important locally to that local steering committee. And I agree with that, and that's what student government on a campus is really all about. There will be dissenting voices, you know that. But in the end, your student government will try to find the sweet spot of that message and take it to that table.
That's where we basically stand firm on that. We agree with the shared
Actually,
services.
I do too, so we don't disagree about that. What I'm disappointed in is that it hasn't already been done.
Yeah, we agree with shared services in an effective manner.
Yeah, I actually feel like you do. In principle, everybody agrees with shared services, but in the implementation, that's where it always breaks down. But I do also understand the individual uniqueness. I above all, I have been to 64 campuses, and I'm probably on my third round. I don't think I've done 3 rounds of 64, but I bet I visit 20 or 30 campuses a year. So you're all different, wonderfully so. So part of the, in our initial proposal, it was to secure the individuality of each campus. Where you disagree is that could ever be possible with one president, 2 campuses. I understand.
Is there a way, this is kind of informal, but is there a way that you could actually visit our campus and really get down and dirty and see how our campus works, like on a level of students and faculty interaction?
Well, I know you'd be amazed at this, but my first visit, I got this big photo of the Rue right there in the middle, and I did spend 4 hours there, which even when you're accredited, an accrediting team is only there 2 days. So I've met a fourth of that already, and trust me, I have heard a lot about Canton and Potsdam, more than any other campus in proportion to the issues there. And thirdly, I put your 2 campuses on a timeline. Get me evidence that you can do things together at certain levels. And I've asked for that, and I've given a deadline for that. And believe me, when it comes in, I will pay very close attention.
Thank you.
So whether there's ever a physical opportunity, I am reading your work pretty closely.
So what you're saying is you want evidence-based.
Yeah, I've given them an assignment. It's due at the end of the quarter. I want to say that I'm not sure how you got here or what expense it was to you to be here, but I do understand that it's a big deal to drive the distance that you did. I'm thinking you didn't take a private jet.
No.
And to express yourselves, and I personally believe it is my job to preserve your voice, so I understand that.
Well, we thank you. We'll be here tomorrow too.
All right.
All right.
See you later.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Take care.
I know.
Did you get that? She's taking it.